Hello and welcome, this is Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, we're going to open up day 14 of the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar. So if you don't want to know what's in here yet, save this video to watch for later because I'm going to open it up and we're going to create something with it. So if you haven't already followed along, we've done a whole playlist from days 1 to 13. This is day 14 and we have this adorable little die set to create this little dog. Looks a little bit French, and I love the fact that he has a little heart there. You could easily use this to create a Valentine's card. I think that would look absolutely adorable. So when pulling it all out, I lost a few of the little package burst open, so those dies kind of all scattered around. I am just organizing them here, and I actually think I got a duplicate die there. The inside part of the ear, I've got 2 of them. So we'll tuck those to the side. We don't need to die cut that. I did all my die cutting off screen. And because all of these pieces are tiny, these are perfect for using up cardstock scraps. So I have my dog head die cut out of black cardstock. I did his little snout and the little patch over his eye with some Latte Cardstock. I did the inside part of his ears with some pink sand cardstock. And I also took the little snout and die cut a piece from pink sand to create a little pink nose for him. He could also work well with that black nose that you see through towards you see the black cardstock underneath there. But I thought a pink one would be a little bit more prominent and pop just a little bit more. The shirt that I created for him is white, and I did the accents in red as well as the little hat in red. Now, if you were to do this card, and I'll mention it later, I would choose a different background color for him. I did the white on the shirt and ended up doing a white background, and I didn't realize until afterwards that it was not the right color choice. The shirt kind of blends in other than the stripes. Now, he's a little Frenchy, I believe, so his ears pop up, but you could easily swap them out and put them down and create a different breed with him. So it's a little bit versatile that way, and I love the fact that you can do that with that and have those options. So there's also a little scarf that goes around his neck that I glued onto the top of the shirt before gluing his head on. And I'm gluing everything with some Barely Art glue. I have it in a nice fine tip bottle, so I can get even the tiniest little die cuts assembled or glued, and I have some wiggle room to shimmy things in place. I also use a jewel picker for some of the smaller pieces. I'll put glue on some of those areas and then use that jewel picker to pick up those tiny little pieces. Sometimes it's just easier to do it that way than to fiddle around with those little pieces and try to get them positioned properly. Now that he's all glued together, I'll let him sit for a moment. I know I want to add a little sentiment to this card. So I have a piece of poppy field cardstock that I have die cut, or I've got trimmed down for the mat around my centerpiece. And I'm taking the die set from day 1 and just using the happy birthday die set with that. I think it would also be perfect for a with love or something like that if you wanted to do, or happy Valentine's Day if you wanted to create a Valentine's card with them. With that heart, it just makes it perfect for that. Now I'm gluing that onto the card base, and I just did that sentiment, or die cut that sentiment out of the center part of the mat. I didn't have a scrap that was big enough for it, so rather than using a new piece of cardstock, this is just a way to help your cardstock go a little bit farther. No one is ever going to know that there was something cut out of the center of the piece below the white. And here's where you really see that the white was not a good choice for my background, because the shirt, other than the stripes, kind of disappear. I still didn't even realize it at this point. I realized it at the end when I'm showing the finished card. I looked at it and I was like, oh, that was not a good choice, but we make those mistakes to learn from them. So I positioned my little hearts and I die cut multiple of them because I wanted to put multiple on the background here. And I'm scattering them around a little bit and using that same glue to glue them down. Makes it really easy, again, to move and shimmy things in place. Now I'm going to let that dry for a few moments, and I want to add a little bit of texture. And the easiest way to add some texture is with some stickles and glossy accents. So on top of my hearts, I'm adding some stickles. You're still going to be able to see that poppy field cardstock through that. It's just going to add a little bit of glitter and shimmer. On my eyes and nose, I'm going to add some glossy accents. That's just going to give them some shine as well as some dimension. So I always love doing this, especially with eyes and noses, because it just gives you a little bit of extra texture on there. I let that dry for probably about a half an hour it just depends on the size or the amount of stickles and glossy accents that you use. And this is the final result. I think it looks absolutely adorable, but like I said before, I should have chosen a different color cardstock either for the shirt or for the background so that they're both a little bit more prominent. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. I will see you tomorrow. What do you think's in day number 15? We'll find out then.